Panel. Tonight we're going to be talking real estate, and we have two young ladies with us tonight that's going to share some of their history, some of their knowledge, some of their do's, and some of their don'ts. And hopefully, at the end, you will find that the information has not only been helpful, but that you are now ready to take a dive. So, if you have any questions, if you have any interests, we ask that you would in the chat just type in your question. It'll come to us. We will make sure that your questions are answered in the time frame that we have. We have an hour. We're going to be with you. So, without any further ado, let's just have a quick prayer. Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for this opportunity. We pray that your will would be done on tonight, and we will give you all the glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name we pray, and all God's children said, Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Tonight, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but we have one of the ladies that I know real well, and the other lady I know not quite as well, but I do know that the reason that they are here is because of what they're going to bring to us about this industry that we all have fallen in love with, which is called real estate. So I'm going to go from the top to the bottom in terms of rotation on this screen, and I'm going to start with Miss Brown, Miss Juanita Brown. We're going to let her introduce herself, tell us what she's doing, tell us how she's doing it, and then we'll let Lawanda introduce herself, and then we'll have a few questions. Again, I'm your host for tonight, this session, Jack Harris. I've been in this business probably 30 plus years. I've trained a lot of agents, but tonight is their night, so we're going to get it from them. Miss Juanita, why don't you begin?
LaWanda, I think you got it easy. I get to go first here. Hi, everybody. I am Juanita Brown, a Bethany member. I've been a member for I don't even know how long now, but
Yep.
I am honored to be here. I am a real estate broker, manager of Wycott Realtors in Burlington. I've been in real estate for all of an amazing 6 years. I have coached a little over 100 agents, probably more, both in starting their real estate careers as well as growing it. I manage an office of about 77, almost 80 agents at all different levels of real estate, whether they're just starting out, or I have an agent who's been in the business for 37 years. My passion is helping people to grow their business and to succeed and to realize the earning potential and the lifestyle that comes with this business. So it's my honor to be here, and I welcome and I look forward to answering any questions that you all have.
Awesome. Awesome. Lawanda?
All right, so I am LaWanda Combs. That's a hard thing to follow there, Juanita. So, yeah, I've been in the real estate industry as an agent for 2.5 years. But my background industry, the love of homes, is my other component business, which is in construction. So, which is in homes, real estate, right? So I decided to dive into why not get my real estate license as the love of homes that I've been doing that for about 28 years, right? So that component of building homes from start to finish, and just add this component as an agent, it just helps broaden my industry and what we're doing, right? So I know all those components of that. So I work two ends of the avenues on it, which is very good for me. Um, and in this business, for women, and in the construction industry as my second component, you find a lot of challenges in it. So I welcome all the challenges that come with it. And yeah, any questions that you may have, I really know all the components of starting and building. Can sell you a home, can sell your home, or if you want to buy a home, can assist you with that.
Wow, awesome.
Yep.
Now I see why they got both of you guys on here, and I'm just gonna sit back and take notes and gather. Here's one of the first questions.
Mhm.
Are there any particular experiences that you feel in this industry, in this space, would be common to females? What are some of the particular common areas that females will have the challenge of crossing in this business? This time, why don't we begin with Lawanda, since she said she got all the pressure from Juanita.
Right. So the challenge is that because you when you look at real estate, and even I have to still reference the one that I'm been in business for 28 years with in construction, which deals with residential homes, you find a challenge because you look at it as a male dominant industry.
Mm,
So that challenge of coming in, trying to make your footprint, you run up on that the male dominant, which is very strong. So you have to have a strong backing in your language and your verbiage when speaking in the industry. So those are some of the things that I have encountered um, in this particular industry.
wow. Okay,
Hmm.
Juanita, that's good.
And see, I don't come from the perspective that Lawanda comes from, right? I've always had a corporate job, and then I transitioned to being an entrepreneur and, making decisions to build a life by design for myself.
Mm,
So I haven't necessarily found any particular challenges in running my own business and being an entrepreneur and dealing with real estate. If there's one thing that I can say in training agents and coaching agents is that there's always a little bit more of an obstacle with women because we are so multifaceted, right? We have families, we have jobs, we have things like that. And when we add this component, we don't necessarily think about the time commitment that it takes as you're getting started. It's
mm.
not all guns and roses, and just as soon as you get your license,
Hmm.
everything is going to drop and the money's just going to rain in.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of hours. It does.
That's
I
good.
mean,
That's
it
good.
takes a lot of hours to begin
Hmm.
to build that pipeline, and that for women, I see is a lot of them. I hire a lot of them. I have an office full of amazing, talented women in my office, but out of maybe 75% of them, I can tell you that 35%, maybe 30% are committed to doing the work that it takes, just
Wow.
because we just put too much on our plates. No
Yeah.
restrictions though. Would you
Hmm.
agree, Lawanda? No restrictions.
Mm-mm. No
Mm, good,
restrictions. Yes,
good,
sir.
good.
Yep.
We're going to take that question and segue it into this next one. And that is, what are some of the keys to consider prior? What are some of the keys that males and females, but
Mm.
particularly females, because it's a female geared audience on tonight, or female geared question on tonight. What are some of the keys to consider prior to jumping into the real estate industry? Some of the things
Mm.
that you've learned, some of the things that you wish you knew, some of the things you wish somebody would have told you prior to you coming into the industry. Uh,
Yep.
Juanita, why don't we let, well, either one of y'all, whoever, jump in. Go
Lawanda.
ahead. Just
So
jump in.
yeah,
Jump
so
in.
you figure time. You
Mhm.
have to spend a lot of time um, in this industry and being disciplined. So you have time management is really a key thing, knowing where all the dots line up, right? So I would have to say time and totally discipline.
So
Um,
how do you use your time? How do you discipline yourself
mhm.
now? And what did you use, or what do you use when you were looking at coming into the industry in terms
Mhm.
of timing, so that somebody that's
Yeah,
listening may want to come in and they figure they like Juanita said, they come in and figure the money is going to just drop, and
right.
it takes a little time possibly.
Right. So I say make a schedule for yourself, right?
Hmm.
You want to definitely have a schedule. How are you planning out your day?
Hmm.
And I definitely say write it down and stick to that.
Good.
If it's 9 o'clock, you wake up to start your day to do whatever task it is, you want to start it at that time and you want to remain consistent with it, right? So if you're going to make in our industry, we do cold calling sometimes. So if you're going to do that for an hour, make sure you stick to that time and you outline it. And you definitely want to keep a tally and write it down where you have a schedule. Now it's technology, put it in your phone. Make sure you're setting that time for yourself to set aside that time. And don't forget to set aside time for you as well. But scheduling is definitely probably at the top of my list
Sure.
with that.
Now,
You
Hmm.
have
just to
to.
jump in before you get started, I know what cold calling is. You know what cold calling is. They may
They don't
not
know.
know what cold calling is. So,
Okay.
so explain your cold calling real quick, and then Juanita will give you the same opportunity.
Definitely, definitely. Sure, sure, sure. So cold calling is when we just get on the phone and we call, we live in the state of New Jersey, right? So we call residents in New Jersey. So we call them if they have bought a home or if they're looking for a home, and we have scripting with that. So we just, that's really what it is. It's just that you're cold
Good,
calling
good,
and using a script and making a call.
awesome.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Juanita.
So I'm gonna take what Lawanda said and said definitely timing is
Mm.
important, right? And the thing with the discipline, because she spoke on timing, but it's also a discipline. When you work for yourself, what happens is most people, the things as a recruiter, as a broker, I hear is that we want flexibility. We want the ability to come and go as we please, be at the children's soccer games and things like that. But what
Mhm.
happens is with all of that freedom and flexibility that you have of being an entrepreneur, the discipline in doing the work has to be there. And that's where the time management comes in. So you really have to treat it like you're at a 9 to 5 job. Whether you're sitting here in the office, like I have agents in the office right now, actually making cold calls. Thank you. Right. Or you're sitting at home in your office, the discipline that you put into your real estate time, because you have family time, you have your work time. But when you're
Mhm.
on real estate, that time should be allotted and you should do exactly what you need to do there. But it's also important that you have a realistic expectation of what the business entails. Everybody thinks, as I said, the money's going to drop.
Mm.
I cannot tell you how many times I want to earn $100,000 my first year in real
Mhm.
estate. But do you know what it takes to earn $100,000 your first year in real estate? And do you know the time commitment? It can be done. I
Mhm.
have had agents who do it. So I'm
Mhm.
never going to tell anyone that it can't be done. But the discipline is there. They work with the coach, they work with the
Mhm.
mentor, they show up and do the work. And that is what anyone who wants to get into real estate, once you take the test, know that the test is only the test. You won't do anything with any of that. Maybe the laws, right, Jack? You'll
That's
need
it.
the laws.
You'll see them. Hmm.
Yeah.
Everything else they teach you, is just to pass the state exam. It's
Yeah,
my job. It's the broker's job to teach you how to do the business. And that's why coming to training, staying connected with your mentor, working with your brokers, and things like that will help you advance a lot faster.
that's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
good.
And one of the other things that, and I think both of you ladies will agree, we have to put, and this is something that a new agent, a new person, people looking at the industry, thinking about coming into the industry, a lot of their thoughts are, well, let me see what I can do for me and what can I make for me. And one of the
Mhm.
key components in this industry is that as long as you make things happen for your client, your principal, all the things that you need will happen for you. There are
Mhm.
some agents, I think if you'll agree, all they're concerned about is how much am I going to make this deal? How fast am I going to get paid? How much can I get? What is the most that I can make? And we have to learn and teach to put the principle first. If we take care of the other people, we will be fine. So that's a good one. Listen here. Let's look at this. What are some of the hurdles you've had to experience or that you've experienced over the years? I mean, a hurdle that maybe you thought I can't make it through this one. I don't know. Maybe it's that's for females. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe you were raising your kids. Maybe you were whatever it was, because I'm sure there's some females listening. And listen, the same thing that you guys go through, we go through as men as well.
Mhm.
Maybe not
Mhm.
childbirth, you know what I mean? But we can feel your pain. We feel your pain. But what are some of the hurdles, some of the experiences and hurdles that you've made it through that maybe you thought you wasn't going to make it and you found out that you were stronger than you thought you were?
Ooh, let's see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just pick one of them. We
Oh,
don't need them all. Just one.
I
I won't. I'm just trying to think of,
The best one.
real estate is really personal for me because when I started my journey, I had gone through a really horrible divorce, and truthfully, I lost everything. Right.
Sure.
So when you get into real estate, it's the easiest thing to get into. It's a $400 license course, and that's it. You pay $400, they give you the book, and boom. But what you don't realize is that you have to pay your board dues, you have to do this. So all in all, it's $2,000. And I'm sitting up here like, honestly, I gave out my last $2,000 to get into this field.
Hmm.
And in order to find clients, which were really important, I had to figure out where to get them from. It's great if you are very
Sure. What happened?
relational,
Okay.
right? It really
Hmm.
is. It's great if you're very relational, good with people, things like that. But for someone who's an introvert, which I am, I don't like putting myself out there. So I had to figure out where to find my business. And that was the biggest hurdle for me because I chose not to talk to the people in my church. I chose not to go to friends and family. I started cold calling. I use my nail money, and this is how real it is, right? I stopped getting my nails done so that I can pay for leads, things that expired and so forth and so on. And to tell you that that little $60 investment has now my life has done a complete 360. God has restored me plus some,
Good for
right?
you. Good.
For
Good.
that,
Good.
for that initial, I don't want obstacle, right? It's all in how you see it. It's just, this is why I have a passion for this field so much. And truthfully, the only obstacles are the ones that we don't want to get over because you run your business. You run your business, and only you can quit on you. I'll never quit on you, but if you quit on yourself, then you'll never know, you'll never realize the full possibilities of what a real estate career can do for you.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's good. And I would say for me, a hurdle that I had to overcome is that quiet time when nothing is going on. There's no business coming in. There's nothing. There's this period of there's nothing happening,
mm,
right? So I had to, and this is where it gets biblical for me, where I attach my faith, and I had to attach my faith here in that to say, uh, to go in the direction where God would have me to go, right?
mm,
Because when that quiet time, trying to get over that hurdle where you're I'm one that's always busy. It's always something going on. I'm always have a contract here, or I'm always under contract, or I'm doing something. So it's business busy, right? And then when that period of a month goes by, and it just to piggyback on what Juanita said, when you're like, okay, there's no revenue now, it's like a quiet time.
mm.
That's a hurdle to come over and trying to find a strategy, a different strategy where you are in a continuation that something for me needs to go on at all time, business
Awesome.
wise.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Good information. How has COVID affected your business, positively or negatively? Lawanda, why don't you begin?
Both, right?
Okay.
So, yep, both negatively. Again, I'm one that busy for me is good. When something is going on at all time, that's good for me. That makes me feel good. That's just me, right? So, with the different challenges and the different things that how we had to do business, how we had to operate business,
Mm-hmm.
that was a negative for me because took additional time where I'm a time management person. So everything for me works for time. If it's set time, I operate well that way in time. So when it was now you have to pack extra masks, or you have to make sure you have your hand sanitizer, right, to go into the home, and you have to make sure you get the approval before you go into the home. It's like, oh dear God, okay, like, oh, make sure you put your feet coverings on. So it's like all of this stuff now I'm taking, just to show a home. But as things does happen, as you do it, now it becomes the norm, just as
Sure.
now COVID, right? Now
Yeah.
you're adjusting to the
Yeah.
new, right? So, that was one thing for me that I felt as a negative, but I said, I guess I better adjust it to a positive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things, and Juanita, I'll let you jump in. One of the things that I found is when COVID started, my business went through the roof. I mean, we
Mm,
were busy. I mean, yes, the mask, the gloves, the facial,
mm,
the all the spray. I still do it when I
right,
now I put the mask on when I get
right.
back in my car. I put the
Hmm.
lotion on. I mean the sanitizer on my hands. But as far as business, it it really got busier. I didn't understand it. I mean, nobody's supposed to be on the street, no cars on the street, but busy. It was crazy, and the market
Mm,
went up. I mean, there were less properties out there to buy,
yeah.
even though I think the market is starting to turn around. The reason I
Mm,
say that because it used to be 20 offers, now it's only 6. So in a lot of cases. So, but COVID was a positive in my perspective, what took place during COVID, and we're still in it. I mean, we're not out of
Mhm.
mhm,
COVID yet.
Right.
It's just not as crazy as it was.
Right.
Juanita?
I'm in a different perspective. I'm a broker manager now. I'm a non-compete, so I don't necessarily sell real estate myself. However, what I had to adjust is the mindset of my agents. And as Jack said, when COVID hit, a lot of my agents had their best years. Some of my newer agents, they were driving me crazy because they're out there doing things, and it's just like, I'm responsible to teach them and coach them. So I'm all over the place with them. But it was just a different mindset to let them know that there's still opportunities out there, and how we now have to navigate it. So I wasn't out there in the field selling. I was in the background coaching the agents, and some of them still continue to have their best year now that things are easing and restricting. Inventory is still very low, but that's the market that we deal with right now. That's the
Sure,
market that we
sure,
deal with
sure,
right
I'll
now.
sure.
just add to Juanita, and that's great to have a manager as the cheerleader for the agents. That is awesome. So I just wanted to add that for you. That's awesome. Yeah,
Thank
Oh, that's
you.
key. That's
yeah.
key.
Mm-hmm.
I found that I do it all. I mean, I enjoy teaching, but I also enjoy getting out there and still showing myself being able to sell a property or take a listing. It's just something about that. And that's the good news. Next thing I like to talk about, that's the good news that in the industry, and you guys chime in the industry, we have the ability to be flexible. When I say
Hmm.
flexible, we have the ability to train, we have the ability, of course, to learn, and we still have the ability, depending on what time we want to put in, to go and do some of the other things that we used to do when we first became licensed. We still have that ability. And whether or not we do them, it doesn't make one right or one wrong, but the ability to do it is there. And that is why I think this industry is probably one of the best industries to be in because you can, as we talked about earlier, set your own schedule. Now, discipline is key.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people come in and say they're going to make 100,000, and if you look at their work ethic, the work ethic does not equal the 100,000. But here's the good news, and I'll let you guys chime in. When in this business, I haven't worked a day in my life because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So this isn't considered work. I'm still in the office now, and it's going on 8 o'clock, and this is a daily thing. And I look forward to helping folk in the industry. Chime in on that, if you will.
So, okay, I just saw a question popped up from Joe
Did
Brown.
you?
He says, "Hey y'all,
Mm,
what's your thoughts on
okay, I didn't
house
see it.
flipping and people that try but don't know how to do it without a realtor?" Lawanda, you're This is completely your area, so I'm gonna let you handle this.
Sure. So on house flipping, if you are looking to be, that's what we call an investor, right? So you want to definitely vet out the property. If you don't want to get a realtor, you're going to do some footwork, right? So you're going to go and vet a property out. And some things, some trigger words, some things you need to know. So it's always good to have a contractor on standby, right? As a resource when you're vetting out a house to see what you want to do. And then you want to know the money wise, right? How much do I have to put in to the house in order to flip the house, is what you say. So those are some of the things. Hmm.
Yeah, I
To add
think it's
to
key.
that,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, to add to that, when we get phone calls from young people who want to go out and purchase a home without necessarily working with a real estate agent, what they tend to try to do is come in, get all of the information out there on the market from us. The
Hmm.
most important thing, if you're going to flip a house and you're going to try to do it without a real estate agent, you want to make sure that your, what is it called, ARV, your after
After repair
return,
value.
right,
Hmm.
is going to is not going to exceed the amount of money that you put into the home to flip it, because you're just going to price yourself out, right? And only we can find that information for you. So I always encourage people, it's great to be an investor. Find a qualified real estate agent to work with so that you'll make sure that you're going to get the greatest return on whatever investment. Jack, do you agree, Lawanda?
Yeah.
I do
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
Yep, I definitely agree. I wouldn't, leave out the realtor, even though I know some, because you're looking at it as, oh, the realtor may be cutting into my money, right? So don't leave out a realtor, because definitely an experienced realtor,
Mhm.
they're gonna know the ins and out, and So with that being said, yeah, I would definitely not cut the realtor out of
Yeah,
that.
and one of the things that I find to be very valuable, especially as you so eloquently said, a professional realtor, one that understands
Hmm.
the industry and also understand a new investor has a tendency to look at the profits. And everybody looks at the profits. But one of the things that I find that they miss are the untangibles and the intangibles, the things that could be wrong as they're looking at this house. Everybody thinks you can buy a house, paint it, put some shelves in, put a kitchen in, change the windows, and we're good. And that's possible if you've done your due diligence and if you know the ins and outs. Electric can be very expensive. The
Hmm.
electrical aspect of it can be expensive. Your water lines can be expensive. And how long will you have to hold that house before you can sell it, getting federal funds? All of these are questions that your real estate professional can
Hmm.
bring to you. You
Right.
may know contracting, but do you know um, uh, dollars and cents? And
Hmm.
of course, people can add, but it's those intangibles that they have a tendency to overlook. That's a good question, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you saw that,
Yeah,
Juanita,
there's
because
a
I
few
didn't
in
see it. I
here.
didn't see it. I didn't. Where they at?
Gwendolyn,
I'm not looking for it.
Gwendolyn is asking, is there any
Why can't I
flexibility
see 'em?
with listing agreements versus a year?
Okay, okay. Go ahead. One of you guys grab it, or I'll grab it.
Yeah,
Why
go ahead.
don't you?
Oh,
Go
good.
ahead, Wendy. Yeah, go.
You got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's see. You know what? You as the seller, you can choose the listing time frame. As
Mhm.
real estate agents, we typically know that in a normal market, right, that it would take usually between 6 months or so. That's the base time that we like to take a listing, because that gives us proper time to advertise it and things like that. But it's not, I've never seen a listing go for a year unless it's maybe
Mhm.
commercial or a little
Mhm.
bit harder to sell. But you state the listing terms, or that's a conversation that you can have with your real estate agent. I remember very specifically when I listed a property, a seller only gave me 3 months. And if I didn't have it under contract within 3 months and bring the buyer, right? Because he didn't want any other agent to bring the buyer, I had to list it. I also had to put in the work to earn the 6% commission by bringing the buyer. And he made me write that all in the listing agreement. So remember, we work for you. You're the fiduciary, right? You're the principal. So everything that we do is what you ask us to do. Does that answer your question, Gwendolyn?
I
I hope.
guess that's a yes. I don't think that we can
I
hear
don't know.
them.
I don't know.
You know, the other part is key, that a listing can be no longer than a year. So, and my philosophy has always been, if it's going to take me a year to 6 months to sell your property, then my marketing strategy must not be that good, because
Mhm.
you can. And I tell people this all the time. I tell the agents, I tell the sellers, you can sell your own house if it's just a matter of putting a sign out there and selling. That you can do. But when we become involved, we are marketing professionals. So our job is to market your property, get the buyers to your property. Once we have them at your property has to sell itself. Of course, we're going to give it all of the information that's necessary to try to give it the best look. But what it is always what it is, and those are the things that will sell it. But we will get them there for sure. Absolutely. Okay.
You ready to handle the next one, Lawanda? There's
Yeah, I
your
don't
Well,
I don't see the questions, but yeah, go
mm,
ahead.
It
Yeah, read them out.
says
Why
you
am I
have to
not
click
getting
on the
that?
button that says comments. It says, is it safe? Tanya asked, is it safe to buy houses that are going up for short sale? I love short sales, but
Yeah.
Lawanda, you go ahead and answer it. Woo!
is it the question is it safe?
Yeah, to
Yes,
buy houses that are going up
Yeah,
for short
yes,
sale.
it's safe. The answer is yes. It is safe to buy houses that are going to
absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
And it's not only
Mm-hmm.
safe, but a property is going up for short sale. Literally, the wording probably should give you a little hint. It's a short sale.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means somewhere along the line, the money that was needed or necessary for that property, whether the owner had over encumbered themselves or what have
Mm-hmm.
we, you're going to get it at a shorter amount than what's really needed on that property. Now, here's where your real estate professional come in. You got ladies, help me here. Your real estate professional is going to determine for you whether or not that short sale is shorter than the properties in the market area or the fair market area. Would you agree?
I would 100% agree. It's actually how I built my business. I got very early on in working with expireds, I found a niche market. And so I got a designation that's called SFR, short sale foreclosure resource or specialist or something like that. So I partnered myself with an attorney who did all of the necessary short sale paperwork. And I got so good at closing homes that were on short sales that I knew, you know, if we got it right at the beginning before sheriff notices and everything like that had already been going out, then 9 out of 10 times it takes a little bit longer to close.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're within the price point of what the bank is looking for, then we're going to go ahead and you're going to get a heck of a home for a reduced price. I actually just did one with my son who brought a beautiful home in Washington Township, and he got it for like $50,000 less than what everything else around was going for. So he already has $50,000 in equity
Equity.
in a home that he just bought. So I love short sales, and I would definitely say yes. Work with a professional. Make sure you have an amazing legal team that will work with the bank. It's hard for a real estate agent, I think, to deal with the
Yeah.
bank. And Jack, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I really don't have time to do all of that. That's why I say a great foreclosure law firm will do great. Will do great for that. I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah. It makes the
I think
process
it did.
easier.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that is definitely a way to go. A lot of people are under the impression, and justifiably so, that foreclosures will be where they're going to make extra dollars or save money. And yes, that may be true, but not right now. Right now, we're still in a slowed down foreclosure market. It's going
Mm.
to change, in my opinion, within the next 6 to 12 months. That paradigm shift will begin to shift. We'll go
Mhm.
back to things being as normal, normal being it a buyer's market. But until that takes place, then yes, the next one is short sales. Now, short sales generally will not be for investors in most cases.
Mhm.
Short sale will be for a buyer that's looking for an opportunity in this market. Short sale is probably going to take a little longer than 30 days.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've had a few short sales and they took as long as 4 months. Usually it's about 90 days, but 4 to 6 months is realistic. So if you got to move and it has to happen right away, short sale may not be the way that you want to go, but it is an avenue that can show itself to be very fruitful for you. Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
let's
right,
find another one.
there's two more. There's one
Oh.
from
Pull it.
Shani. Do you see it
Yeah,
yet?
yeah, I
Shani
see it
said,
now.
what
Uh-huh.
forms of passive income can realtors earn while transitioning from corporate America to becoming a full-time agent? Oh, Shani,
Ooh.
Mm.
loaded question.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good
Passive
one.
income.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
I
good one.
mean, the passiveness is going to be your energy. If and we call and we I like to call them, and sometimes we call them weekend warriors as you're making the transition. So on the weekends is generally when you will have your time, meaning the agent, the new agent, as you're transitioning. And what you want to do is two things I tell folks. First of all, you want to do your work on the weekends because during the week and the evenings is when you will have your time. But also, you want to set yourself in a position where you can, if nothing happens, you can hold yourself for 6 months. 6 months is usually the turnaround time. Now, some folk is less, some folk it maybe a little more. But if you come in this business with your head down and you're willing to follow instructions, you're willing to follow instructions, you're willing to follow instructions because most people come in, they want to do their own thing. But if you're willing to follow the instructions that your supervisor, your broker, your leader, whatever terminology you use, um, will be giving you, then yes, you can begin to build your income. Passive income is something that is set up for a schedule. You're talking about buying some properties and renting those out. And in this industry, a new agent, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that they do that because now you're dealing with a whole different dynamic on uh, tenants paying their rents and things on time. But you can build your business. Now, passively would be a little bit more of a challenge. But you guys dive in.
And I definitely say have a business plan. So
Absolutely.
whatever your plan is going to be, what
Mhm.
what is your goal? What is the outcome you're looking to get, after you come into doing the transition? And like Deacon Jack Harris says, he says, you want to have something that's going to hold you over, and that comes within that plan. So you saying I have this over here to hold me if this happens. So coming in the weekend, a plan comes back with time management and scheduling yourself to get yourself a flow, right? Yeah.
And I think the only thing that I can add to it, being as though I recruit and bring in a lot of agents, is and many of them want to transition from corporate America to being a full-time agent, is first realizing how much is it that you have to earn in order to make this transition possible,
Yeah.
right? And then once we figure that out, you and we can sit down and we can make a plan to, as to Lawanda's point, to figure out the time commitment and how many homes you necessarily have to sell. But it's not something, it can be done in 6 months. Would I encourage it to be done in 6 months? The answer to that is no, because you have to prove it over time, right?
Mhm.
So what you do 1 month, like this is an incredible market right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a heck of a year. And then come next year, when things kind of like transition back to normal, it can take a lot longer to get there. But if you're doing it year after year, or at least a year and a half, or maybe putting some reserves away, I'd be more than comfortable with saying, I think you're ready now. But it all starts with how much do you need to live the lifestyle and that you're living now, paying your bills. Then we can plan. Then we can put together a true transition plan. I do hope that that answers your question.
Hmm.
Hopefully it does.
Yeah.
Was there another one down there? I can't see
There
it.
is, and I think this may be for you, Lawanda. It's from
Yeah.
Jamar Jennings. He says, I offer GAF roofing with a 50-year warranty as low as a $500 deductible. Why is it so hard for me to connect with realtors to protect property investments? I'm not sure what GAF is, so I'm a,
It's a type of roofing.
okay.
So how are you marketing when you ask the question, why is it hard to connect with realtors to protect the property investment? What is your marketing strategy? Who are you connecting with? Those are some of the key things that I would ask you. And how are you presenting what you're offering to make it um pleasing, or and able to make a package deal, so when as a realtor, whatever you're trying to offer, to put it together to say this is what we can offer as well.
And if I may
Hopefully.
piggyback on
Yeah.
that answer, one of the things that I look at when a person tells me that they're going to give a 50-year warranty, a 5-year warranty, a 2-year warranty, how long have you been here doing this for me to be comfortable believing that
Mhm.
in 50 years you're going to be here? I mean,
Mhm.
and I've had people in the past in other markets that had roofs done, had different things done with 5-year, 10-year guarantees, warranties, and when it's time, and I had a couple cases in particular, when it was time for that warranty to be exercised, the company was no longer around.
Mm.
So it's important that you not only say you're going to give a warranty, but show something that will make a real estate professional be comfortable in putting their tag, their name, their credibility on the line for that particular guarantee, whether it be a roof, whether it be carpet, whether it be windows, whether it be whatever. What is it that you have done, and how can you make us comfortable so that when we bring clients to you, that we don't get, for lack of a better word, pie in the face.
Mhm.
And that's something that you probably want to take a look at, because if it came to me, if you brought that to me, that would be my question. How can I tell somebody comfortably that in 50 years you're going to be here? And what have you done so far to sustain yourself? That would be one of the questions that I would have, so that I would have comfort. And maybe, just maybe, your offer doesn't give enough and I'm not saying it doesn't, but it may not give enough in the credibility area for an agent to say, I will partner with you to tell all of my clients or all of my investors or whoever you're after that, because that's a big one. 50 years, a long time.
Mhm.
Yeah, a
That's
long time. And I didn't get there yet. I'm only 45. So, and they laugh, right? That was a joke. Okay. All right. Any more? Is there another one down there before I throw one? I
I
can't see it.
I don't see any more,
Okay.
unless something else pops up.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Then let's look at if you were asked, if someone, and they're asking now about this space, about this area, about real estate, is that a place that you would suggest that a person should be in, come in, and truly find comfort in to support themselves, or should this be, because I hear it all the time, should this be something I do part-time?
Ooh.
So should I look at doing this, or should this just be a part-time income for me? And there are a lot of agents that say both.
Mhm.
For me, this is all I've ever done for 30 years. But there are a lot of folk that say you can't do this part-time. I mean, you can't do this full-time. You have to do it part-time and have something else. What is your feel on that,
That's the one.
Lawan?
I'm gonna let you go because I have my own feeling.
It depends on the individual.
Okay.
It really does. It really does. It is a flexible. You have the flexibility. If you have children, The hours are flexible, but you will be putting in a lot of hours, right?
Hmm.
But you have that opportunity to schedule yourself and work around certain things. The business does allow you to do that. Um, and again, what are you expecting, right? It is really, what are you expecting to obtain in your own life? I know for me, uh, I want to do it full time, right out, because again, something in my life, I have to always be doing something, right? So it's no relaxation time. It's like I need to be doing something, or something has to always be going on. So for me, uh, the movement of what something always going on, that works for me. So I was like, I can do this full time, and I can also run another company. So that works for me. So you have to find out really, I believe, what works for you.
Good.
And I
It's a good
think
answer.
Lawanda just hit the nail on the head right there, because I don't believe in full time or part time. You're a real estate agent. You're a realtor, right? And it to me, it's like when you're doing real estate, when you're working real estate, you're full time. You are going to have to make the determination as to the amount of time that you invest in it. Someone who's coming in and working at 9 to 5, and there's no such thing as a 9 to 5 when you're an entrepreneur in real estate, but you're always able to pick up your phone, you're always able to go and handle a situation, versus if you have another time commitment, your buyers may want to see something that's hot on the market, but you have to work within a certain time period. It's just really how you're taught to have that conversation, how you're taught to present yourself. I know that when I was an agent, well, I'm still an agent. I should. When I actively brought and sold, I used to come in and say, "You don't want to work with a part-time agent. You want to work with someone who does it full time." Why? Because know that whenever you need me, you pick up this phone. There's an issue. I'm a full-time agent. I'm going to be able to answer your phone calls. You won't get my voicemail. I won't text you. I'll call you after 2 o'clock. That's the difference between full-time and part-time. As a broker now, it's kind of different, right? Because what's out here in the market is a lot of weekend warriors, right? They see the potential. And so now it's my job to kind of like help them present themselves as a full-time realtor when they're on their real estate hustle. Does that
Yeah. I
does
think
that
that was good. You
Yeah.
guys did great. Listen, we're coming in. We're gonna land this plane in about
Yeah, there's
13
a
minutes.
question
So
though, Jack. You
yeah, I
should
know
be
we got 13 minutes. So we
okay.
got one question. And I'll let you guys answer it. Is there a difference between a realtor? Is there a difference between a realtor and a real estate agent? And are they both bound to the code of ethics legally? Do y'all want to dive in, or do I need to take
No,
this?
Go ahead and take that.
yeah, I can.
Yeah.
If you want to start, you can.
Yeah.
I definitely know the difference between the two.
Well, it's ladies' night, so I'll let you guys do it. I'm trying to stay out of it and let the ladies do it. So go for it. Go for it.
All right. So, in order to use the term realtor, you have to belong to the National Association of Realtors. They hold us to a higher code of ethics than what we get when we passed our when we get our real estate license. Remember, we're sales associates. Once you pass license, you don't get the designation of realtor until you join the National Association of Realtor, your local real estate board, and you are bound to a code of ethics. Legally, Jack, what do you think about legally? You are bound to a code of ethics. The
Mhm.
REC gives you the legal things that you are bound to.
Mhm.
I
Jack,
agree. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
it's the
And
easiest way to say it.
the other part of it is whether they're part of their realtor, part of the board or not. The ethics should be addressed and should be upheld on both. whether they are
Mhm.
part or not. Now, do people do it? No, but you, the buying public, now you know the difference, and you may very well want the ones you want us that held to a higher standard, if you will. We all are governed, and if it's not the board, then it's the real estate commission. So there's some things that we can't do, we shouldn't do, but the board stays busy. So there's a lot of people doing things that they shouldn't
Mhm.
do. But to answer your
Mhm.
question, the ethics really is written from and written by the National Association and treated by the local boards.
So true.
Okay, next one. What is the best brokerage if here it is. What is the best brokers if I am interested in getting into uh island
Mhm.
real estate?
Ooh.
What
Mm.
Ooh, take
Mm.
me with you. Are we going to the
Yeah.
Caribbean?
yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
No,
Let's
Yeah. I
go.
don't.
Listen.
I want to go.
Um
Wow. Yeah.
hey, I'm coming. I'm coming. I got my shorts in the car. Yeah, they're in the car, flip flops in the hole.
Wow.
Island
Mm.
real estate. Well, I'm not really sure as
I'm
to
not
what
sure.
island you want to get a real estate in, but once you have your license, especially out of PA is a reciprocal state that goes a lot of other places. So if you wanted to go to Florida and be an agent, and they have islands in Florida, you could very well, treat that license and take it to Florida and be a realtor and or broker in Florida. I hope that was answering your question as far as the island real estate. I'm
Mm.
not I'm not
Do you
sure
think
what
I can
island.
answer that really quickly?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah.
for the best brokerage. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily know if it's the best brokerage, Shani, and I hope I'm saying your name right. What I'm thinking you need to do is find a brokerage that has a footprint wide enough that covers more than just the US, right? Because
Mm.
there's some brokerages who are in 50 states,
Six.
30 countries, whatever. So
Mhm.
do your research to find out brokerages that you can be a part of that especially if you want a big brokerage. If you want a small and pop mom and pop, a specialty brokerage, then you're going to have to go to maybe St. Kitts. And I think it says you said Nevis. I've never heard of Nevis, so maybe you can tell me a little bit more about that offline.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
you'll
what that
have
is.
to go ahead and do some research specifically where you're looking at to see what brokerage sells the most, and you can even ask them that as you're making phone calls. How much your market share do you have on the island? What license do I need to hold? Because just because you have a New Jersey license here doesn't necessarily mean you can sell in St. Kitts. I still have to pass my PA exam if I want to be able to sell real estate in PA. I have to pass the Delaware exam if I want to sell real estate in Delaware. So every place is a little different, right? But Jack did say PA has reciprocity. Is that what it is? Reciprocal state.
Yeah.
So if you get a license in PA and St. Kitts is one of those places where they
Mm.
take a PA license, you set, girl. Go ahead and set.
Florida does. I don't know where
Mm.
St. Kitts is,
I
but
don't know where
Florida
St. Kitts
does.
either.
I
Me.
have
I
no
hope that
idea.
answers your question,
Yeah,
Shani.
yeah, yeah. But and well, maybe you can text him where St. Kitts is. I might be interested
Mhm.
in going there. Is it
I might
nice?
too.
Me too.
We'll get a license there. We'll
Like,
get one
I'm
there.
not trying to look up Nevis. I'm trying to figure out where that is.
Exactly.
Listen,
Um,
this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. Any closing remarks? We have a few minutes,
Ooh.
and I'll let you guys near Saint. Oh,
You might be. That's a
mm.
U.S. Virgin Islands, isn't that?
Mm.
Oh, that is nice. All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All
I'm
right.
gonna be down there this year. I'll be in St. John, so I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna figure out where that place is. You might be able to give me a call next year this time, and I might be there. Tell you to come on down, Shandy, and we have a good time.
Mm.
But as we close, how have you guys had enjoyed yourselves tonight? Have you guys enjoyed yourselves,
Yes, this was fun.
ladies?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, this
great.
was really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
This was
it
Okay.
really
was.
fun. Hope
Mhm.
I added some value.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that what's going to be important is the knowledge that was shared by both of you ladies. I think that and Lawan, I think you said it earlier, especially with the contracting business, and of course in the real estate industry, it has been over the years a male dominated industry, and it has been proven by ladies just like yourselves that not only can the awareness of the industry be brought from you ladies, but also the professionalism in the industry you ladies have definitely shown. And I think that's important for ladies that's listening, and also for men knowing that we don't have to carry everything. We have some help, and we have ladies that are doing quite well
Mhm.
in the industry. I am, for one, very proud of both of you ladies,
Mhm.
and I couldn't have had a better time sitting here and listening to the expertise that's coming from you both. And I think that the listeners on tonight would say the exact same thing. So, in closing, do you want to give how and someone may be able to get in touch with you, your email, your things of that nature, and someone may want to reach out to you and take you up on some of the things that was said on tonight. Lawanda, why don't you tell the folk how they can
Sure.
get in touch with you?
Definitely. You can reach me at Combs Sells Homes. How catchy is that? Combs Sells Homes at
Oh,
gmail.com at gmail.com. I'm also under the agency of Weichert as well. So I'm broken under that agency, Weichert Realtors. Thank
good,
you.
good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
awesome,
Good.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So I put
and
it in the
Juanita.
chat, but I don't know if it comes up. I am Juanita
Mm-hmm.
Brown. It's really long. So it's
Yeah.
J Brown. Are you ready for this? At Weichert Realtors,
Mm-hmm.
WEICHERT. There it is right there. They just popped it up on the screen, y'all. Down the bottom.
Awesome.
That's my information. All
Good,
right.
good, good.
Feel
Mm-hmm.
free to give me a call, email. This was fun. Thank you.
It's
Mm-hmm.
been exciting, exciting, and we hope that we brought value. We hope that we have we answered all the questions, at least all the ones that we saw. We did our best answer, and I'm telling you, you have two ladies here that have really taken this industry and are helping a lot of people. So use the information that was given. Reach out to us if we can be of any assistance to you. There's a lot of information that was shared on tonight. Whether or not you got it all, whether or not there's still some pieces that you need, whether or not there's a little more information that you need, please don't hesitate to reach out and touch. And of course, if you need to reach me for any reason, I think mine was up there before, but I am Jack J. Harris at abundantrealty.net. And of course, my the easiest way to reach me is my cell 267-228-7947. Again, that's Jack J. Harris at abundantrealty.net. Listen, I really learned a lot from you ladies, and hopefully we've gleaned a little bit of your knowledge, knowing that there's a whole lot more in store. It has truly been a pleasure. It's been an honor, and I'm so excited for what you ladies are doing. Who said that men were the only ones that could do this industry, especially contracting? I mean, listen, you really have given some excitement to the business, and of course to the industry. So with that said,
Well, thank you
this
for having
is
us.
oh listen, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I'm
Gotta
just glad that
go.
they asked me to come here with you guys. You know
Yeah.
what I
Think
mean?
something happened.
And it has been exciting. So
I don't
this
know.
is our every third Thursday BPA, the business panel,
I don't
and
know.
you guys have truly
Maybe
been
it's me.
been exciting. Listen, I think we're
Mm-hmm.
done. We're right down on that 59 minutes. We got about a half a second left. And what I would say to you guys is share the knowledge, share the wisdom, and if you need anything else, reach out and touch us. Thank you for your time. God
God
bless
bless
you.
everybody.
And until again, have yourselves a great